here is that winner's final. So we have Rush Hour and AI going up against each other. They're going to start on Black Forest. So this is a very interesting match because we're going to be starting on Deathmatch. Not usual. AI, this is the only team other than No Diff Unk. So the only team in this tournament that beat AI in the regular season. However, we did just see Moldy Milkers get their fate reversed on them, as they did beat Rush Hour in their only matchup in regular season, and instead they decided to fall over and lose to Rush Hour in tournament play. Of course, it was a 7-map series, so really could have gone either way there. But now we will see another one of these matchups where Rush Hour did beat AI in league play, but now they are fighting each other in a tournament match, best of 7 series. So we will see if AI can put something together here. They do come out to an early lead against Rush Hour, going to drop 4 members of Rush Hour. AI only finding, or not AI, Rush Hour only finding 1 kill in retaliation. Ryan Pin is coming through. He is going to pick up that Mei. However, his Junkrat will fall. However, they are about to even this up, and they do. So it is 5-5 now. Fights breaking down almost identically for AI and then Rush Hour. The Brine Pin comes in. It does miss the Bastion, so the Bastion will live for a little bit longer after getting that pick. However, he might just go down here. Gonna finish that off. Bap trying to keep his Junkrat alive as he fights this Torb. 6-6 on the board already. AI is fighting, but they are starting to lose. Rush Hour fighting back. They will pick up the Bastion as well. Okay. Great look here from this team. Rush Hour up 10-6. They are going to pin that Torbjorn into a tree. However, it's not going to find the pick. It's going to be 11-9 here. Soldier's going to drop. Just some excellent team play coming out from both sides. A Rhine Pin is coming through. I don't know if that's going to result in both of them passing away. So it won't result in any kills, however. Just make this match go a little bit longer. Soldier probably going to die to the Mei. He does. Managed to find the Lucio. So we are still tied 13-13 here, as AI and Rush Hour are coming to blows in this #1 seed versus #1 seed matchup. Junkrat landing inside the lava puddle is not exactly where you want to be against that Torb. As he does just fall while using that Riptire, and suddenly AI has a 17-13 lead. The deathmatch looking quite strong for AI so far. Bap is going to fall. Torb going to get low, going to half, going to fall. Bastion also very low on the outside looking in. Fortunately for Rush Hour, this does mean you won't have to play on Black Forest again in this series, at least against AI. Soldier going to go down. But man, AI is actually just dominating Rush Hour. Rush Hour seemed to have a lot of struggles on these deathmatch maps. They seem to have been getting picked apart by both Moldy Milkers and AI on these. I'm really curious to see if Rush Hour can really focus up on different map types to differentiate themselves in this series as well, like they did with Moldy Milkers. There was very much a pattern of who was winning which maps. Seemed highly map dependent on who was going to win that series. Reinhardt is going to fall here. A 12-point lead here for AI is quite massive. It could come crumbling down though. 9 18-point difference as some picks are falling the way for Rush Hour. They are going to have to put a lot more work in, though, to continue gaining here. Baptiste going to fall to that Bastion and Mei. Bastion getting very low. He's going to get taken out by the Rat. Here comes the Riptire. It does just go on the Mei block, so it's not going to find anything. Torb going to find that Junkrat in the back. And this is just looking like a 1-0 lead for AI as Rein shatters into the... Oh my word, Rein, are you stuck? You poor guy. You poor soul as he dies to the Torb turret. Soldier going to go down. Bap going to fall. Only 5 kills remaining here for AI. They are looking very strong on this deathmatch map. Gonna have to see if Rush Hour can make up for this lost map in the next one. This deathmatch seems to be going very much in favor of AI. They only need 2 kills left. They have like an 18-point difference. Chances are this is going to go AI's way. It's just an inevitable at this point. Junkrat gonna fall. Only one more pick necessary here. Where are they gonna find it? Am I gonna miss it? Torb's gonna fall, but that's not gonna be enough. Map really low. Bap is going to go down, and that will be the final pick. Mei killing the Bap. AI takes map 1 in this best of 7. Going up to an early 1-0 lead. Fast death match to get through here. I will remove Black Forest from the pool. Very strong look from AI so far. This is the one team in the league that does not currently have a coach. Going to King's Row. Oh, we're going to King's Row. Okay. Okay, so let me remove Black Forest from the pool. We are running out of maps, as you can see. And like I said, I believe once we get to... I think we only have a few more deathmatch. Oh, there's quite a bit of deathmatch left, but there's also quite a bit of other maps as well. So, King's Row. This is one of the few hybrids we have left. There's a couple of versions of King's Row, so... that'll help the odds of getting a hybrid, I suppose. Anyways, Rush Hour versus AI on King's Row. So, our currently AI, let me make sure, is Avana off? Yeah, it is. Okay, I'm going to save this preset real quick. Sorry, guys. Okay. AI currently leads the series 1-0. Rush Hour, however, are getting probably Reinhardt's bread and butter. You are going to King's Row. This is, in Overwatch anyways, maybe not Overbots, this is Reinhardt's map. One of the best Reinhardt maps out there. However, on the opposite end of things, it is also one of the best Mei maps. So, if you're playing actual Overwatch, those 2 picks are peak on this map in particular. Series is just getting started here. AI coming out to an early lead from that deathmatch. Very quick map. Pretty much the way deathmatch always goes in Overbots. They are very fast to be settled, as it's basically whoever grabs the momentum and runs with it. And a lot of times it is these damage-orientated comps like the Bastion, Torb, Mei, Lucio. Very powerful team. Created right under the nose of the rest of the league. I do not know how Bastion and Torb fell onto the same team, but they did. Meanwhile, I was left with scraps like a Sojourn. I mean, Sojourn's alright. I can't complain too much. She's pretty good. But I think Sim has lost a lot of her stock this season. Doesn't seem to be quite as good as she used to be in 3v3. Okay, here we go. AI coming in. They are going to go around a long way. However, Bastion has already used his turret form, and that's going to result in his Lucio going down pretty early in this one. Only Mei and Torb remain on the point. The turret is gone too, so very quick teamfight victory for Rush Hour. They do dissect the AI squad. You gotta be worried about if you're Multi-Milkers is this AI squad. If the AI squad does drop down into losers, you more than likely are going to be out. And it will be Rush Hour versus this team again for the finals. So this could be a prelude to the grand finals. It also could have been that last match between Rush Hour and oh my word, Moldy Milkers. Or it could be a matchup we haven't yet seen, and it could be AI versus Moldy Milkers as well. We will have to see. Rush Hour going to back out. AI coming to a big lead here. So they do cap this point against Rush Hour. They're going to start moving this payload soon. Alright, here comes Rush Hour. They're going to go out here. Rein eating up most of the Bastion's turret form here. Here comes the... Oh my gosh, the tire is absolutely massive. Picking up both the Torb Bastion and the turret. It's going to prevent a lot of value from coming through here. From the side of AI. Mei getting alone in this room over here. She is going to live for a little bit longer. Oh, she's coming back out. She does use that block. Not contesting the point though. Here comes Bastion. And the Mei ult does come out. Seems like this BAP is going to get killed. Very good push here starting from AI. They got 4 minutes on the clock. Torb doesn't go down, surprisingly. Rein just going to stall out onto this payload as long as he can. Going to grab this health pack maybe. Maybe he can get this Mei. Nope, nope. Missing the pin. He is going to come back and stall for a little bit longer. Probably going to pass away here. Soldier almost there in time to help him out, but not quite soon enough. So eventually AI will start moving this payload again. They have a whopping 3 minute and 30-second time bank on the second point to get it through. Gonna be on Rush Hour to stop them. AI, a very scary team to be playing against. Rush Hour, very similar in the way they are also a terrifying team to face. Both squads have been good throughout this entire season. I think the only returning member to playoffs, or like to a good position in playoffs, is that Bastion and that Torb. They are top contenders. They were of course, last season we only had finals. We did not have a tournament to play in for them. So Ryan's just struggling with this turret a little bit. It's kind of funny to witness. Soldier popping the aimbot on the turret, making sure that thing dies. Getting very angry. So 2 minutes and a half on the clock. Bastion coming around on the flank. He might pop his turret form here. He does. BAP all alone against this, and that is just a terrifying prospect as a BAP to deal with. Rein will get collapsed on here. Junkrat, the last one alive on this point. Soldier, not too sure what Soldier's doing. He seems to be a little bit stuck. However, most of AI is moving off the point right now. Looks like Soldier is looking for a fight of some sort. But what is he doing back here? He will eventually come around. Bastion in that turret form. And Soldier will fall here. So going into this last point with a whopping 3 minute and 15-second time bank. Not exactly what you want to see if you are Rush Hour. AI is kind of pushing on you on this hybrid map. If AI goes up 2-0, it's going to be probably pretty hard to get yourself back into this matchup. Torb able to deal with the tire. Rein getting shredded. Eventually, AI will win that fight. Rein not quite able to take out that Bastion, leaving him at like 1 HP there. Shatter should almost be online though, and that will almost be certainly uncontested unless the Mei wall is absolutely perfect. So we're going to see one more opportunity from Rush Hour to stop this thing before the end. However, if they do finish, it's got to be feeling pretty rough here. Oh, that's a huge Shatter. That is going to be a teamfight win for Rush Hour. Massive Rein Shatter coming through. Certainly securing that one. Bastion gonna be one to fall. Oh, Torb picking off the Junkrat and the Soldier. Massive picks coming through. And it looks like AI going to be able to push this one in, more than likely, unless we can see some last-second contests happening from Rush Hour. But, man, what a strong push. What a change of pace we've seen here, too. Very similar to that last match. Oh, well, okay. Here we go. It does come out the Mei ultimate as well as the Bastion ult, but it's not really finding anything. Can we just stay on this payload if we are Rush Hour? And it looks like we will. Mei probably going to get evicted from this point pretty soon here. She is all alone. So we're going to get a sub-minute time bank here for AI. Just a good look if you are Rush Hour. Oh no, Rein. Run. Massive aimbot plus window going to result in a 2k from Soldier. So despite the Rein throwing a little bit there at the end, doesn't seem to matter too much. Bastion coming in with his turret form is already going to have that wasted as he walks in, so he will die. Mei in her ice block, so even though Rein did end up accidentally sending himself off the map, it's not going to matter too much here as they do find a way to stabilize in that tragic situation. Here comes Torb. He's going to go for the point. Can he get the touch? Can he get the C9? Lucio going for it too. Junkrat's going to push him away. Lucio very low. He is going to find the Lucio, so very close to taking this point, but AI just being held off ever so slightly by Rush Hour. Only 15 seconds remain on the clock here. Can AI get something started and finish this map? I don't think they are going to finish the map. And Rush Hour just doing what they do best, locking down these payload maps. Now it is on Rush Hour to push it all the way, basically, to map completion, and they will win. They don't have to finish the map, technically, but it was only like 2 meters away, so you basically have to finish the map. But really dominant performance on that third point by Rush Hour, bleeding away a lot of time, had a massive shatter to start that hold, and eventually they get the job done. AI was pushing quite well through the first and second point. They just couldn't quite get over the hump of that third point. It is great to see here. Alright, Rush Hour and AI setting up for their new positions. We will have Rush Hour on attack, AI on defense. Rush Hour, given it their all this season, they are so very close to a championship. They can feel it in their blood. AI also is feeling that way. However, they don't have a coach, so no one really cares about them. They are essentially the team to beat just because no one wants to see them win. Rush Hour given the golden opportunity here to tie this series up one apiece. All they have to do is push to where AI could not, and they will have a map 2 victory, and we will have a 1-1 game. Bastion gonna pop that turret form kind of early here. Gonna get on this BAP, not able to find any picks here, so Rein gonna come in. No turret form available for a bit. Here comes the pin. It does hit the lamppost, kind of saving him. Bastion gonna go down here though, so that is one of your win conditions out of the way. Mei and Torb will be dealt with as well. That will result in a first point take. Blistering pace set here by Rush Hour. They need to continue this pace if they want to take King's Row. Can't get stalled out on the third point like AI did. Speaking of AI, they are coming back in for an engage after the point is taken. Bastion already in onto the Reinhardt. He is in his turret form, though. He is going to shred through that Junkrat. He's going to step in the trap, though, so he could fall. He is going to go down, so a trade will happen. Torbjorn and Mei stalling out here a bit, and the Lucio. Rein Pin not going to find anything. They are going to bring down the BAP, so a good picks from coming in from AI. Torb turret just putting in so much work here as the spawn camp is going to start. So this is not a place you want to be if you are Rush Hour. Don't want to be seeing a spawn camp from AI. Could very well come out here. Going to need to get a quick engagement here and deal with the threats before they kill you. Junkrat going to go down. However, Lucio is going to get picked off. Torb alive on point, but Soldier and Rein alive on the other side. Soldier trying to deal with this Mei, but she is being quite a nuisance in the back line. Bastion's going to start pushing up here. Shield is up by Rein. Rein's going to pin it, but he unfortunately hits the payload. Cannot let this Bastion get another turret form if you want to win this. Here comes the pin. It does miss. That is not good if you're Rein. He is going to fall. So Mei and Bastion able to get the job done here. This spawn hold is threatening here if you are Rush Hour. You do not want to go down 2-0 in this series if you are Rush Hour, especially after 3-1ing this team in the regular season. It wasn't quite as dominant as some of the other showings, but it was like one of the only teams that could beat AI in the head-to-head. Anyways, Rush Hour coming out of spawn. They are going to go the long way around. Lucio getting very low. Torb still alive on the back line. Mei. Big shatter coming through from Rein. This is what you need to see from Rush Hour. They do manage to win that fight. No one is pushing the payload though. Bap looking like he's going to go back now for it. Forcing out that turret form from the Bastion is the Soldier. Bastion's going to get baited in a little bit here. He's probably going to die for this. Yes, as he does get baited in and passes away for his mistake. The payload will finally get moving on the second point. So a very good spawn camp coming out from AI. It's got to be a little bit concerning if you're Rush Hour, because now you're going to have maybe 2 fights to get through the second point. And if you fail at all, it's going to be rough to get through the third point or even get to the third point. All right, here comes Lucio. He does have that beat. On the other side, we do have a Riptire, so Bastion form getting forced out early is a good sign for Rush Hour, especially since it is behind that payload. This Tire is going to get on the Bastion and actually complete the kill. That is a huge pick off if you are Rush Hour. Lucio and Torb surviving the onslaught from the Rein. Soldier going to wrap around here. Going to be fighting for the point. Junkrat getting very low. He is going to fall, unfortunately for him, to the turret. Baptiste and Rein getting kind of confused on this point, it seems. Lucio's going to go down, though. Good start for this Rein. He is taking all the spam from the turret for his team. Mei's alive. She is 1 HP on the side here. Can they finish off this Mei? They will, I think. Not? They will. They will. Okay. Soldier looking for... So the Bastion is coming out with this Bastion form. However, Soldier's behind him. Torb's going to go down, and they will eventually push this payload through to the second point. And now the third point. This is the true test. Can they push it to where AI failed to get? They will get some extra time in their bank to work with here. So they get about 3 minutes to get it through this last point. So that's probably about 3 fights that they will have the opportunity to take here. Lucio has that beat that you have to watch out for, though. Window could be massive here, too. Bastion getting pinned immediately. That is a huge start by the Rein. Lucio getting low on the outside looking in. He is going to go down. Torb getting very low. He's also going to fall. Mei, the only one left standing on AI. And Rush Hour will continue to move this payload, dropping no members. They have a very good chance at tying this series up 1 apiece. AI coming back to contest. They do have all of their ultimates pretty much available. Rein with a massive pin onto the Bastion. Gonna force him to use that Bastion ult and the Mei ult, the freeze, but everything is crumbling around AI. Can they bring this back? Looking like that is going to be answered with a resounding no as Rush Hour push through and take this second map. They're going to take King's Row most likely. Actually, Bastion is back. He is back. Can he get the touch? Lucio, can he get the touch? No, he will not. So that is going to be it. Rush Hour take map 2. This is a 1 1 game. Once again, a very close match we are seeing. AI very likely could have won that map too. Had things just gone a little bit more in their favor, but Rush Hour able to get the job done on King's Row. Just that slow, ever methodical push. Able to complete the map. And we are going to be heading on to map 3, which is going to be Runasaapi. Runasaapi. So our second push map seen in this tournament. Going to deactivate King's Row. Okay, so we will be on Runasaapi for Rush Hour and AI. So currently this set is tied 1 apiece. Very good match so far, as anticipated from our 2 number 1 seeds. Rush Hour, the only team left from Get Good Division in this season. Never Back Down has 2 teams representing them now. Moldy Milkers able to get past Logie Swords in the lower bracket. So, shaping up to be a great losers final as well between one of these teams and that Moldy Milker squad. Rush Hour giving themselves a chance in this series, tied 1 apiece, going on to Runasaapi. Second push map played in tournament. Gotta be a little bit disappointed if you're AI. You're looking for those deathmatch maps, it seems. Seems you have the same advantage that Moldy Milkers does against this Rush Hour squad. It is very difficult to beat, but once you get on deathmatch, it seems to be one of the maps where this team struggles a bit against these other squads they are facing. Alright, here we go. Bastion is going to activate that turret form pretty much immediately. Gets a massive mine off, or a bomb off. However, Junkrat also got a massive one off. So some trades here early. A 2-for-2 trade. However, Soldier and Mei against this turret is actually doing so much work. Soldier is going to deal with it, so it's a 1v1 on point. Soldier versus Mei. Soldier losing to this Mei. Oh my gosh. He does lose the 1v1 to the Mei. So AI will get some cart progress going here. Both teams had to use everything they had in that fight. Rush Hour probably going to be able to get a fight before it hits checkpoint. Fighting tooth and nail for that first one, though. That was a very well contested fight. Soldier's going to be on the back line. The turret form's already going to come out. This is probably going to spell disaster for that Soldier, and it does. Junkrat is going to come in here. Bap is already gone, though. This does not look good for Rush Hour, as AI is looking to continue this Runasaapi push. They are going to grab this checkpoint. Have a resounding lead after those first 2 wins, and as we know with push, if you win those first 2 fights, you are putting yourself in a much better position to win the whole set. So AI will continue pushing this payload forward. Ryan is going to drop down here. Bastion form is going to be forced out. He does grab the pin on the Lucio, so that's a good start here for Rush Hour. They do use that lamp to keep their Junkrat alive a little longer, but the trades are actually favoring AI here. The turret is probably going to finish. Yep, it will finish off that Reinhardt. I do expect that this next fight, though, there should be somewhat of an advantage here for Rush Hour. They will have all 4 members here, and I don't think... Well, maybe we will since they have that Lucio. So, actually, I spoke too soon. AI in a very good spot to just keep pushing on Runasaapi here. Dangerous position to be in. Comes the Rhine pin. It does get on that Bastion. They're able to pick him off first, and that is a good sign. Lucio yet to be dealt with. This Mei not going to freeze herself on point, so they're just going to push this payload away from her. And she will eventually just fall over. So, Rush Hour finally win a fight here. They are down quite a bit of meterage, 98.17 to 0. All of that is started because Mei wins that 1v1 against Soldier. When you think about it, it came down to the wire between those two. Ryan getting picked off by that turret at the end didn't exactly help. Here comes the tire. Is it going to find... It does find the Junkrat, so they find a trade on each other as they are popping their ults in stationary. It's kind of a funny little trade there between the Rat and the Bastion. I think that does indeed favor Rush Hour, though. Bastion is much more of an impact to his team than Junkrat is to his, in my opinion. That is a huge ultimate by the Torb, though, picking up 2, basically canceling out the impact of that Shatter. And Reinhardt will fall here, so we're going to see the payload get pushed all the way back, probably past the checkpoint again. AI in a very good spot at the moment. However, the split spawn on Lucio is not going to matter too much since he is so fast. He does have that beat in his pocket too that he can pop for any of these remaining fights. Rush Hour will be able to actually cut them off here a little bit. Ooh, okay, here comes the Soldier. Gonna pick off that Torb very quickly. Lucio is back. Bastion is in his turret form. Here comes the beat. Is gonna help pick off that Junkrat, and suddenly AI very firmly in control on Runasapi, looking to go up 2-1 in this series. Very strong Runasapi coming out from them. Lucio gonna fall immediately. Bastion gonna go down next. Mei, the only one left, she's gonna fall. Very dominant push there from Rush Hour, but unfortunately you are already so much in a hole, it's gonna be very hard to make up for. All goes back to that Mei versus Soldier 1v1. Really capitalizing for AI. The butterfly effect really felt there. If Soldier wins that 1v1 instead, they start pushing in one direction. Maybe things go a little bit different for you. You at least have a little bit more momentum on your side. Alright, Bastion in with the turret form. Is going to be used early. Lucio going to be traded for Bastion very low. He's going to get traded out, so probably going to win this one if you are Rush Hour. Turret going to get destroyed by the robot. And I believe off of this, they should be able to capitalize and grab checkpoint. We will see, though, if a recontest is possible here. With that Lucio. Looks like they're coming from the high ground. Can they get this touch? Mei's going to go for it. They do not. So, able to grab that respawn advantage just barely before going down here. And that does mean they will spawn in a better spot. So the payload should not get back around to this before they do spawn. So yes, they will have their forward spawns for this next fight, which gives them a chance to turn things around. For Rush Hour, AI in a very good spot, though, to secure this map, especially with how they're rotating around at the moment. Not a great look from Rush Hour. This isn't what you want to see. When they rotate around like this, sometimes they give up some progress. Here comes the Riptire. Mei ult out as well. Bastion's going to deal with that Riptire, and the Baptiste is dealt with in the backline as well as the Rhine, and this is probably Runasapi going the way of AI, so a 2-1 lead coming out here for them is very strong. You got to be a little bit worried of your Rush Hour. This is one of the best squads we have in Overbots. AI is a force to be reckoned with. Here comes the Torb. Gonna pound out the lava. Ryan gonna get killed, eaten alive, as a matter of fact. And that will be it. Runasapi goes the way of AI, and they take a 2-1 lead in this series. Rush Hour really going to have to put their heads down for the rest of this one and get to work. You don't want to drop another map here if you're Rush Hour. It does put you in a position where you have to reverse sweep, or not reverse sweep, but you get what I mean. You have to win every map from there on out. Very tough position to find yourself in here if you're Rush Hour. You kind of expect to win the Runesapi, but now you're down. You go into another hybrid though. That is a good roll to get. So a 1-2 match. AI currently holds the lead. I'm gonna go change the maps to get rid of Runesapi. So our second push map played. And we will be going to Eichenwald. I think Rush Hour is definitely going to have a little bit of an advantage on this one. They've been doing very good on the hybrids and on the escorts thus far. Runesapi going the way of AI is not what you anticipated. If you are a Rush Hour fan, though. If you lose this map, you will be down 3-1. Your chances of winning this series become very bleak. Here we go. Here comes the Bastion attack. He's going to pop that turret form quite early. Lucio getting very low. However, Rein just gets absolutely melted. 1-for-1 trades happening, though, and Soldier is making sure it favors him, as now it looks like Rush Hour are going to win this, despite that opening gambit from the Bastion absolutely shredding through Reinhardt. Not quite enough. So, down about a minute here. As AI is looking to regroup. They're going to go up the side. Lucio going to go down. Torb going to go down. Bastion going to go down. This is looking dominant from Rush Hour here. This is what we expect on these hybrid maps from the squad. They have looked so good whenever put onto a hybrid map. And AI is just floundering here against this very strong Rush Hour squad. AI obviously very strong in their own right, showing that on Runesapi, showing that on the first deathmatch map of the series, the Black Forest. They are still a force to be reckoned with. Bastion's going to get launched off the map by Rein. What a great pinch. Like he's playing Rocket League against that wall. And that will result in Soldier taking out Lucio and Torb, and this push just getting absolutely stifled by Rush Hour. They know they are down in the series, 2-1. They know what they have to do here. Mei on the outside looking in. She is going to pop that ice block, but going to be hunted by this Rein. Does wall off the Rein, but she's eventually going to fall here. Baptiste dealing with her AI a little bit staggered, coming in to deal with the rest of this roster, but yeah, it looks like they actually are going to back out. No, Bastion's coming back in, and he doesn't have his turret form anymore, so that is not a great decision. He's going to go down. Torb is up. He's going to go down very quickly, though. So he was found on low HP, and Lucio and that turret are also going to fall. This Reinhardt team is looking very, very powerful today. They very much want to keep this an even series. They want to go 2-2. And they're showing that on this hybrid map. Looking very strong. Ooh, the Junkrat tire goes down on the way in. Window coming out a little bit early here, but however, Bastion does not have his special mode anymore. Very close fight on point. Torb is going to fall. Soldier and Rein, last two standing on the point. Soldier just absolutely shredding through AI once again, proving why he is one of the top DPS in Overbots. He's had a very good record to show for it, and in fact, in this map alone, he is out-damaging everyone in the lobby. A force to be reckoned with, not even tapped into in Season 1 of Overbots. Surprisingly enough, he didn't get a single map. Soldier able to take out this the Bastion before he gets that ult off. It's looking like maybe AI can push through here. It looks like they definitely will now. Oh, a trade happens though. Lucio, Junkrat's still up, but he's not able to find any picks, and it looks like eventually AI will be able to push through here. Just barely in OT, so they will get a little bolster to their time bank. 2 minutes and 30 seconds put on the clock for them there. Does mean they have a very good chance at pushing through now. Let's see. Ryan's going to come in a little bit early here. He does grab that maid. Not going to get the kill, though, as she does live from the charge. A lot of these characters are actually pretty good at surviving Rhine pins, especially if they're your full HP. I believe Bastion, Mei, and Torb all survive Rhine pins if they are not missing any HP before said Rhine pin. So Soldier just staggering out on this point. Not sure exactly what he's doing. Not quite peeking this turret, though. Lucio's going to use that beat. Bastion's getting pinned behind. But this is looking like AI is eventually going to push through here, as Rush Hour is just kind of staggering in. Ryan probably going to... Well, I think Ryan's going to disengage here. So, pretty good push coming out from AI now. And Ryan will eventually go down. Okay, so not the greatest decision made by the Ryan. Going to fall for it. And looks like Soldier probably going to... Nope, he is going to back off. Okay, so they are going to wait a little bit longer for their team. Soldier and Torb looking at each other a little bit, but they think better of it. They're not going to fight here. Going to wait till the end of this second point, which ever since AI have gotten the point, they have had like all the momentum. Here comes Ryan. He is going to pin in. He does get the Torb with the pin. Can he finish the kill, though? No, he doesn't. He will go down. Very excellent push happening here from AI all of a sudden. Change in pace has been crazy, as we just went from a team almost being full held on Eichenwald to suddenly looking like they could very well push through this whole map. As long as they push this payload, that is. They will. So Rush Hour have a little bit of work to do, so they need to get back into this one. Bastion gonna die here, getting a little bit overzealous. A minute 50 on the clock here, so not much of a hold needed at all for Rush Hour to halt them. Despite the blistering fast pace set on that second point, they still don't have a lot of time left. And what in the world is Mei doing? Where is she? She's in La La Land. Looks like they're going on a long rotation. Bastion gonna pop an early turret form, which does mean a pretty big advantage for the Rhine squad here. Here comes the Molten Core and the Freeze and the Bastion artillery mode. So that is going to result in a teamfight victory here for AI. A little bit of staggers coming through here. They are going to find that Lucio at the end, but Lucio is such a non-factor kill. Well, let's see. You'd think with how much they zoned them out that they would have an advantage in this, but it is still a 2v3. And Ryan is coming back, as well as the Bap. Bap able to keep his soldier alive here for the time being. However, Bastion is back, and he has his turret form up. But it looks like Rush Hour actually are able to contest with this and finish off these kills. Despite losing a couple two turrets and such. Torb going to be the last one standing. He looks like he is going to be able to disengage here. Actually, Soldier's going to look for this kill. Does he get diffed, though? He almost does. He will get diffed by the Bastion turret form. So, a little bit of a back off coming from... Here comes a Lucio pin. Okay. Ryan is going to kill himself for that Lucio. Not sure if that was entirely worth it. However, Bap able to finish the Bastion. Junkrat on the side here. He is going to fall to that turret, and no one touches. Okay, so AI are going to end on this corner, once again, on one of these hybrid maps, giving Rush Hour a win condition here to make this a 2-2 tied series. If Rush Hour win this one, they will be tied at 2 apiece, heading into a map 5. And map 5 will decide who gets to go up to match point first, and then the other team will still have to win 2 after that, so we'll see though. If Rush Hour can secure the 2-2 here, they got a fairly solid defense, a very solid point A defense. However, it just came crumbling down at the last possible second due to some excellent plays by AI. And then that second point was kind of just a wash, kept staggering in, did not help them. However, on that last point, they were able to regroup on that corner and hold down for enough time that AI eventually would C9 to give up the point. So now it is all up to Rush Hour to get it back there, and they can have a second map in this series, making it 2 apiece. Can they get the job done here, though? So far, this series has been extremely close, absurdly close. I would say the 2 maps that AI have won have been fairly dominant, but the maps where Rush Hour have won have been extremely tight. Maybe AI is the better team overall, but sometimes Rush Hour can come up with these clutch moments that result in them winning maps regardless. Oh my gosh, what a pin. Torb and Mei gonna go down here. Only Rein getting really low on the side of Rush Hour. They are gonna have a very striking fast take of point A, much quicker than AI did on their own attack, and that Bastion just gonna prove as a stagger here. So the gate will open. And 3 are on cart. AI going to start pushing in here. Bastion into the turret form, but he's immediately going to get pinned into the back line. However, his BAP somehow falling behind him. He's going to go down too. Suddenly, oh, okay, Reaper is going to, or not Reaper, Junkrat is able to take out the Bastion, but he's going to fall. And so the 5-minute time bank looking a little bit in danger here as they do get stopped right outside the gate. Not a great spot to be stuck. Let's see if they can push past this. There is no Torb, or there's no Bastion on the field, so that's a good sign for you. Oh no, he's back. Okay. He does pop that ult. Not going to find too much with it. He does help kill the BAP, I believe. However, trades are favoring AI here. Here comes the Riptire, though. Oh, Bastion able to deal with it. Bastion in his form. He will run out of it shortly, though. And I think that's the opening that Rush Hour need. They will probably push through here. Yes, they will. So, 4 minutes on the time bank. Still plenty of time to get this thing into the second point. And around that corner, Rush Hour looking very strong on these hybrid maps. If they do win here, this set will be tied 2 apiece. Okay, let's see if the Rein ping comes through here. Okay, so the beat does come. And that is going to heavily favor AI as they do get another stop here. Soldier probably going to fall to this turret spam. Does eventually go down. Baptiste going to get doinked by the Mei. So here come Rush Hour. They are going to push up a bit. A big Mei ult coming through. However, the Shatter is massive. Going to result in 2 immediate kills here for Rush Hour. And the chances are they are just going to win this fight. Don't see much of a chance for this Mei to get out of her situation. She is kind of stuck in. Going to go down to that BAP. Rush Hour going to continue pushing this payload eventually. Lucio getting behind him, but I don't think he's going to matter too much. Not much of a relevant piece. He is going to get pinned and finished. And we'll see if AI can get another touch. However, they got 3 on cart, and they are pushing with a full head of steam. They will grab this second point, and now all they have to do is get around that corner, which is about 1 teamfight win away, and they have 4 minutes to get that teamfight win. Bastion going to be behind. Here comes the pin. It's massive. Going to save him Soldier's life and end the Bastion's life. Baptiste going to... Soldier will eventually go down there, of course. But 3 up here on one side, 2 up on the others. So Rush Hour having a kind of big advantage here. Junkrat going to finish off that Torb. All that's left here is the Mei. Fortunately, Rein seems to be a bit stuck. Lucio and Bastion should be back in this fight sooner rather than later. Mei getting stuck a little bit too. Everyone's kind of getting stuck here. I don't know if that Rein is bugged. That could spell disaster for Rush Hour. Okay, he's not quite bugged. He is going to come back into this fight. And he's going to pin the Mei away. And that will just be it. The second map for Rush Hour. They win one on King's Row, which is basically a Rein's homeland. And then they win one on Eichenwald, which is Rein's homeland. King's Row is just a better map, architecturally speaking, for Rein, though. And that will be another series tied at 2-2, heading into map 5. So, Hanaoka. All right, we're going to see a clash map. Let me real quickly go to maps and remove Eichenwald from the map pool. As that is no longer an option for the tournament play. We are going to Hanaoka. So our first, well, yeah, I think we only have played, I think this is the only clash map that we have played now. Yes, we have not gone to Throne of Anubis yet. So Rush Hour and AI will have the Hanaoka game in their set. This could be a curious one. 2 very strong teams clashing here on the game mode itself. Currently tied 2-2. This is the Duel of the Fates. Whoever wins this one will be up to match point. So a very important clash map coming through. Hanaoka, probably the most important map of this series, because whoever wins this, like I say, will be on match point. Which that third map is one of the most important. If you can get to match point, you're going to feel a lot better about your odds of winning the whole series. I dare say whoever wins this will probably win the series. We'll have to see, though, right here, right now. AI versus Rush Hour, map 5, 2-2 map score. Fighting for their lives in the upper bracket, of course. They might see each other again in grand finals, depending on how the match with Moldy Milkers goes. But right here, right now, all you're worried about is completing this series to keep your extra life intact as an upper finalist. So a lot of trades going back and forth, but all that's left point at the end is Soldier. So very similar story to Runesapi, as is Soldier going to cap this before the retake? So this is the thing about having that Lucio, right? You might be able to grab a touch. Can they get it? Can they get it? They don't. So barely. The Soldier able to fully cap on his own. He is going to go down for it, but he does grab that capture. And now this squad of AI is a little bit out of position. Lucio getting very low. However, they're able to take the BAP, and they're probably going to win this one. So very good take here by um, AI, they do go into that point C and immediately kill off the soldier, creating a fight that gives them a clear advantage. And now we are going to see a lot of fights over C, D, and B, most likely. So, very good little retake there by AI. Going to have a huge advantage in this one, as BAP is the first thing to fall. And that is looking like it is going to be AI's to lose. Alright, so it looks like we're going to be heading over towards B after this one. I don't think we're going to see a recontest, so mostly just one fight for each of these. Basically, you need to win 5 fights in Clash in order to win the map. Alright, so we will be heading to B. AI looking very strong in these last couple fights. The Rein pin coming out a little bit short notice. Lucio's going to go down first, though. That's a big pick to start. A couple trades happening here, however. Oh, okay. So actually, it will be AI to win this, as they are looking to go up 3-2 in this series. They're very close to accomplishing that goal now. They will get an attempt at A, and any tick you get on A is equivalent to capturing a whole point. So very good push here from AI. Comes the Riptire, gonna try to just get them out of here before it even starts, but nope, they don't quite get the job done. Bastion able to deal with that Riptire. Big pin coming out from Rein. Does force out the Mei block. Looking like this is going to be your typical last point where it's just so hard to take as the opposing team, so you're not going to get any extra credit there. A is going to go fully the way of Rush Hour here. And we're going to be heading back towards B. A lot of ults on Rush Hour's side. They could have an opportunity to completely flip this map on its head if they use these ultimates correctly. Here comes the Reinhardt with his squad. The big old shatter coming through, and the aimbot. That is going to be a very, very easy teamfight victory coming through for Rush Hour. It is so quick, in fact, that we might see an attempted recontest coming from AI. And this is crucial. If they attempt the recontest, you could see... Well, okay, maybe not. They're not moving fast enough. Oh, you could see a stagger on this Mei if she gets up too high. Yes, you could see a stagger on this Mei. This could be huge here for Rush Hour. Do they get... They don't. Rein instead sends himself off the map, and that is instead going to be huge for for AI instead. A crucial mistake by Rush Hour. Going to result in Lucio... Well, Lucio gets picked, though. Soldier going to get downed by that Bastion turret form, though. That's just brutal. Okay, so this is probably just going to go fully in the way of AI, and all they need to do is take B to win this. They are going to have the beat. They're going to have the freeze. Mine should back off after that. Going to go back to the point. So all AI need to do is take B, and they will have this map. And thus a 3-2 lead in this series. And they're going to take down that bat immediately. Lucio's going to go down, Ajaxing. Oh my gosh. Is this Soldier versus Torb versus... Do we see a recontest here? So only Torb on the point. I don't think we will. I think that's just it. So AI going to successfully beat Rush Hour on the Hanaoka. And like I said, if you win this, I think you're going to win the series. I think this is AI. They're up 3-2. They only need one more map. This is AI's match to lose now. This team did beat them in regular season, but here they are up 3-2 over Rush Hour. Rush Hour are going to have to hope on a very good map. And so far, it seems like you have only been able to win on the escorts and the hybrids. Really going to hope on an escort or a hybrid for this next one. If you don't get it, you're going to be a bit concerned. Okay, so Hollywood, so you are going to get the hybrid. This could very well be another map 7 then. I'm going to be turning off Hanaoka. So, Rush Hour able to secure the hybrid, giving themselves a fighting chance at the series. They are down 3-2, and like I said, I believe whoever wins Hanaoka is probably going to win the series, and so far, if my prediction is to remain true, I believe AI will now win because of that. Rush Hour now have to win these last 2 maps to win this whole thing, but Hollywood is a place where they can get it started. We have seen them time and time again winning on these hybrid maps, winning on the escort maps. They did drop that Runasapi. So as it stands, the first map went the way of AI, winning in Black Forest. Then Rush Hour came out and won King's Row, making the series 1 apiece. Then Runasapi came around, and AI was able to power through for a full map completion, and then they were up 2-1. And then we hit Eichenwald, where the Rhine squad almost full-held AI, and then they didn't quite do that, so AI did get a decent push, but then Rush Hour was able to beat them by pushing to where they got eventually. And then that last map, Hanaoka, fairly close, just 2 points separated them, but AI was able to get the job done in the end, creating a 4-2 map score. Reinhardt is getting a little bit deep in there, however, they do take out the Bastion, one of the most important picks. Lucio going to go down, and Mei going to fall shortly after. So Ryan, even though he does feed a little bit, he does get the most important pin he could have, and helped finish off that Bastion. So, a minute or so going to be off the clock here pretty shortly for AI. They are currently on match point. All they need to do is win this Hollywood, and they are in the finals, the grand finals. Bastion getting immediately pinned. Ooh, so a huge fight win here coming through for AI. That is just going to be that. So AI able to cap very quickly on this Hollywood in comparison to how Eichenwald went for them. It's more akin to how their King's Row push went. Good start for them. That's what you want to see on this hybrid map if you want to have any chance at dethroning Rush Hour on these type of maps. They have been solid in this tournament on the hybrid and escort, as I have said before. Don't know if they've had dropped a hybrid or an escort yet. Here comes the Rhine pin. He is going to go straight into the payload. Baptiste going to get a little bit hung up on it. Going to get flipped to the side. So Bastion and Torb able to deal with the Soldier and Bap. Going to result in a blistering pace being set here by AI once more. Second point, kind of hard to hold for this Rush Hour squad. We'll see if they can do it though. The Rhine pin absolutely immaculate going onto that Bastion. However, the beat is even better, as Bap will be the first to fall. Lucio absolutely clutching up for his squad there, even though Bastion looked like he was about to fall. The beat coming in just in time to save him, and that will mean AI is going to win that fight and continue pushing this payload towards that checkpoint. AI are looking to end it here on map 6, rather than have to endure another map against this Rush Hour squad. Very much is the goal right now. Ryan getting pushed away from the payload means we won't see a contest on this final point, and oh no, 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 it's all coming crumbling down for Rush Hour here. Baptiste, last member standing, but he's all alone. No one can save him now. Baptiste will fall. AI will continue pushing forward, and this is getting ugly. 4 minutes on the clock. Rush Hour need to do something, and they need to do something fast if they want to turn this around, because if you lose this map, you are going to the loser's bracket. You are going to have to fight Moldy Milkers again. Right in the lava, he is going to get consumed. The Lucio going to fall down here. Torb going to fall to those bombs from the Junkrat, so not all over yet for Rush Hour. They do hold on. However, a massive time bank for AI to work with on this final point. If Rush Hour can hold on, would be nothing short of a miracle here. Baptiste getting very low. Bastion pushing on him. He will get out with his life. The Shatter comes through, only going to hit that Torb. Not an ideal pick, as all of a sudden, those two ults failing is not a good look at all for Rush Hour, as now there's a 3-minute time bank on the clock, and this could just be it. AI might be sending Rush Hour to the loser's bracket to face that Moldy Milker squad again. You don't want to have another series against Moldy Milkers. That squad almost beat you. Here we go. That loser's final is shaping up to be something of a grudge match between those two squads. They already had an excellent 7-mapper. Ryan able to pin that Bastion. Bouncing him back a bit. Torbjorn getting very low on the side. He is going to fall. Rush Hour holding strong here. 2 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock for AI to push through this final choke. They have the beat coming up. Very good chance at just winning here. Lucio gonna go down though, I think. Yes, he will. So, silver lining here for Rush Hour. You are indeed holding them off a bit, and they're gonna back off, even though they just picked off your Baptiste. So, gonna wait for their Lucio to fully regroup. Here comes the Riptire. Doesn't find any value. It's going for this Bastion. It will find him. Great pick from the Junkrat. One of the most high-value targets on AI. Torbjorn going to fall to the mines. So Junkrat really just put in so much work there. Picking off two. One with his ult and one with his death passive. Two of the most high-value targets on this AI roster. Really, the menace of Bastion Torb is something else to deal with. You almost need the hybrid map archetype to deal with this squad, with how well they can just shred through teams. Bastion going to get pinned immediately. Going very low. He's not going to fall, though, and instead he will upstand the Rhine. Torb in the back line, doing just a great job here. And that is probably going to be it. We are going to see a full push on Hollywood from AI, and that's something that's going to be difficult to overcome if you're Rush Hour. Can we see a final contest? So, if AI do beat them on a hybrid map, you have to be feeling a little bit bummed out. Oh, here comes the recontest, though. Do we see the Shatter? We don't see the Shatter. Oh, no. We're not going to see a touch. That is going to be it. So, silver lining for Rush Hour. You do get them under a minute. And what that means, literally perfectly under a minute, what that means is if you do happen to finish in overtime, you will still get an offensive threat of your own. You will still be able to go on offense even if you finish with no time on the clock. So Rush Hour still have a chance in Hollywood to win this. It's just going to be off the back of an excellent push, not defense this time around. So we will see, can AI close out this series on Rush Hour, only letting them get to 6 maps before taking them out back on a map type that has mostly favored Rush Hour throughout this tournament. They have won every single hybrid. They have won every single escort leading up to this moment, and they have played a total of 12 maps against the two squads that they have faced. So, in a rough situation here, are you, Rush Hour, about to lose on the map that you are supposed to win? Knocking on the door. You have to finish the map. And you will only get a few opportunities to do so. Here we go. could be the final map of this series. We could see a lower bracket version of Rush Hour versus Moldy Milkers. Torb gonna get finished off by that Rein. Soldier absolutely working his stuff to finish off a couple more targets. And all that's left is Mei. She will be forced to back out here. So a good push, a good start to this by this Rush Hour squad. They need to keep the pace up. You probably want to finish with way more time than the other squad if you can. Already better time bank on the second point due to how well you held that the first hybrid point, because you did repel one offense. Lucio's going to go down here. Bastion's already in the grave. All that's left here on this point is Mei, and she is probably not long for this world. Nope, she is not. Payload will continue moving here. 5 minutes 20 on the clock. Rush Hour is indeed rushing through this one. Blistering speed being set so far. They are trying to stay in the series. Backs against the wall. Down 3-2. If they win this one, we will be at yet another map 7. Only our third map 7 in playoffs. Don't mention it. Here comes Bastion. He is on the flank. Has his turret form up. He will fall, bringing down the BAP with him, but Lucio falling on the other side means there is an advantage here for Rush Hour. They just need to capitalize. Only Torb and Mei alive. They are going to be able to back out, it looks like here. But still, their time bank has been absolutely steamrolling on this Hollywood. Looking like they might take this one, even with the map completion from AI, if they continue this pace. Mei gonna fall over. They just keep going. Their time bank is massive. Heading into this third point, Bastion just used his turret form too. That is a good sign for Rush Hour. Going to be able to take him out, and now all of a sudden you have like a 5-minute time bank. Maybe. Well, we'll see if they can finish off these kills pretty quick. They should have like a 5-minute, like 28 second time bank going into this final point. So crazy amount of time on the clock here. Bastion and Mei are staggered out here too, so they will come out of the spawn and probably receive a staggering of a lifetime. And this could result in a very fast steamroll of Hollywood for Rush Hour, giving them a very good, in fact, almost guaranteed map victory here. So, a good team fight from AI actually here, but the trades, I think, do still favor the side of Rush Hour. They are going to only have this Mei to deal with, and the turret. Turret should eventually go down here. So 4 minutes and 42 seconds as they round this corner. Mei is going to fall most likely here if BAP can just finish her off. There we go. They do eventually finish her off. BAP getting very low, though. Here comes the Bastion ult. Big shatter to cancel that ult. Here comes the Soldier 76 with his aimbot. He is going to go down, unfortunately for him, but still giving his Rein an opportunity here to continue pushing forward. He is going to pin into this Torb. Eventually they will find that kill, and Junkrat and Reinhardt are still on this payload. 4 minutes, 11 seconds on the clock. All they have to do now is push this thing in. We are going to see that window probably coming out. We're going to maybe see the Lucio ult here. Here comes the window. Bastion going to be pinned up against the wall. The beat gets canceled. Ajax. And that could be it. Junkrat's gonna push this in. Soldier's gonna. Oh, okay. Are we gonna push this in, guys? Guys, are we looking for kills, or are we trying to finish the map? Because I'm a little bit confused on what we're doing here. Okay. Eventually, Rush Hour will push this in. They do have a monster time bank in comparison to what AI is working with. So even though you might be like, oh well, they didn't push it in. They're going to have at least 3 attacks on the point, whereas instead AI will have about 1. Very good map or attack difference for Rush Hour. Their chances of winning this map go significantly up. The series could very well be a 3-3 going into the final map. And you're really gambling on what that final map is, because if it favors AI, it's probably going to be an AI victory. If it favors Rush Hour, it's probably going to be a Rush Hour victory. So this is all entirely map dependent. It seems that way. Rush Hour, blistering pace set on that offense, proving that even if you do take a map against this squad, it's going to be difficult to continue in this like grind hybrid. Grind of a hybrid. As both of the hybrid maps, there's been 3 hybrid maps in this series, by the way. Both of them have already gone Rush Hour's favor. This is the 3rd one in that set, and if they win this, all 3 hybrid maps will, in fact, have gone in their way. Whoever wins this is going to have a lot easier time in the grand finals. A very good start here for AI, though. Junkrat able to trade some, but probably going to die. Mei and Bastion working on this point. 32 seconds on the clock here. Rush Hour should group up, I would assume. What you don't want to happen here, if you are Rush Hour, though, is to continually stagger and lose fights. Bastion going to be in this Bastion form very early. However, he is getting shielded a bit. Bap going to fall early in this fight. Not a good sign for Rush Hour. However, they do... Lucio going to fall here. Junkrat going to take out that Torb in the back. Soldier coming back in to fight this Bastion. Is going to remove the Bastion from the point. Can Mei even touch? So this is where it will end. Soldier coming in, removing that Bastion, doing what he does best. Even though his whole team is dead, he removes the Bastion. Mei doesn't get the touch, and that will be where the payload resides. Very winnable here for Rush Hour. They only need to win 1 fight. Actually probably 2 fights, because there will be a re-engage similar to what we just saw. So all Rush Hour need to do to stay in this series and go to a map 7 is win about 2 fights, and they will have it. The second fight is barely even a fight, though, because even if you lose that, you have a chance because of your time bank. So if they win this first fight, it is more than likely that they will win this map, and we will be headed to yet another map 7 as the Titans are clashing in this playoff bracket. Absolutely beautiful overbots. This is an upper bracket match. The number 1 seed versus the number 1 seed. Never back down and get good. Clashing at their peaks right now. We have seen throughout the season why these teams are so good. Rein is a very good tank, surrounded by 3 very, very good DPS-based characters. The Soldier, the Junkrat, and the Baptiste can all do such high damage. It's funny hearing that from a support, but it is true nonetheless. On the other side of things, just raw damage mixed with with that tankiness of the DPS they have. Lucio gonna go down, though. Bap gonna get traded, so very winnable here for AI. They do hold off 1 attack, so here we go. This is where things get a little bit rough. Junkrat, oh my word, was Junkrat stuck in spawn the entire time? Okay, I think Junkrat was stuck in spawn for that first push. See if he gets unstuck here. He will get unstuck, so now he will be in this fight. That is a little bit unfortunate. I didn't even notice. But that is going to hurt you if you're Rush Hour. Having your Junkrat stuck in spawn like that at the very beginning. So Rein Shield going to get absolutely melted here against this Bastion. A trade for the turret will happen here, but oh boy, this is not looking good all of a sudden for Rush Hour. As you get denied twice from the point. Now you got to start to worry. The first time you pushed this thing, you were able to deny them so much space and kill them so quickly. This time around, though, your Junkrat getting stuck in spawn on that first push. And then on that second push, losing that BAP so early, not a good sign at all. They need to win 2 fights to win this series, or not series, but this map. The Bastion gonna get pinned. Rein sacrificing his life to pin that Bastion, but not gonna be enough here. And now, all of the ultimates coming online for AI. You have to start to worry if Rush Hour. Everything is coming crashing down at the last possible second. You took this with such a steaming anger on the first attack of your last push, but this time around, that Junkrat getting staggered in spawn, and the way that second attack went, as well as that third attack, means all of a sudden you are in a little bit of trouble here. If Reinhardt can live, maybe you can win this. So Reinhardt lives for a little bit longer. He will eventually go down, though. Bastion getting extremely low, not falling yet. He will go down to the BAP. Lucio in the back line. Torb able to pick off the BAP, and that is just going to be it here. We are going to see so many ults on the side of AI coming into this next one. I am not sure if Rush Hour can do this. They're going to need their Rein to pop off. They're going to need their Soldier to pop off. They're going to need someone to do something. They have been stifled here. Despite pushing fully through this team the first time around, this looks completely different than their first attack, and this is unfortunate. If you are a Rush Hour fan, you could be sent to the lower bracket. Bastion getting pinned deep into the enemy lines. They do stay largely out of that lava, so Torb not able to collect too many victims. BAP will eventually fall. A 1-for-1 trade happening here, but there's just so much sustain left. It's going to have to be all on the Junkrat and the Soldier here. Junkrat goes down. Soldier does pick up one, but unfortunately for him, guess who's back? And that's going to be it. Rush Hour lose on Hollywood. They lose their first hybrid map, and AI is now in the finals. Rush Hour is going to have to go face Moldy Milkers again, and then if they want to beat this team, guess what? You have to come back up here, and you have to beat this team twice in a row to prove that this was just a fluke. And you're also going to have to beat Moldy Milkers without very many hybrid maps left, as that did just remove, what did that just removed Hollywood from the map pool, which means there's not much left there for you. In fact, there's only one hybrid map left. Anyways, tragic fate for Rush Hour. They will be falling to the losers bracket to face Moldy Milkers once more in a best-of-4 series.